got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look.
City eyes, it's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball.
Most I say he only known you, man. Give me the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his words unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto Jacob. And who's Jacob? We already explained who Jacob is. And what's the word? This is the word right here. The Bible, the truth, the law. That's what he showed unto Jacob. And that's why Jacob is the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Each time you commit a law against the Most High, you get punished 7 times worse than the other nation. Because you can't do whatever you want. You can't live like this other nation living, man. You gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgment unto Israel. We just read that he's dealing with only the children of Israel, and he only gave them his statutes, laws, and commandments. And that's why you suffer the way you're suffering right now, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, because you want to be like this other nation. When the Most High say, no, not the way of the heathens, right? He said, no, not the way of the heathens. Meaning, do not try to do what the other nations do, man. Let them do what they want to do. Stop eating that pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, man. Because it said in the Bible that the Most High told you that those food is unclean for you. And the oppressors said that's a delicacy. That lets you know they don't believe in the Bible. That lets you know Christianity don't believe in the Bible. Because once Sunday service is over with, they run to that crab shack and have all unclean food in their plate. That lets you know Christians don't know the Bible. They don't keep the scriptures. They don't keep the law. But you black man, you can't do that. That's why you have high blood pressure. That's why you have diabetes. Because you're trying to eat with everything that you see the oppressor eat. When the Most High say you ain't supposed to do that. That's why he only gave you the laws, statutes, and judgment. Because you all being judged each time you break the law, statute, and commandment. Give me the book of Joel chapter 3. Joel 2 and 27. And we're going to show you that the Most High is only dealing with the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. He's only dealing with the children of Israel. He ain't dealing with all nations, man. He is not the God of everybody, man. He's only the God of the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And we're reading it out the Bible for you. It's in black and white. They don't get no simpler than that.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Now he's in the midst of everybody.
In the midst of Israel.
He's in the midst of the oppressed.
In the midst of Israel.
He's in the midst of the African.
In the midst of Israel.
The Chinese.
In the midst of Israel.
The Arab.
In the midst of Israel.
The East Indian.
In the midst of Israel.
Only in the midst of Israel, man. He's not in the midst of everybody. He's not the God of everybody, man. So stop thinking that the more God is the God of everybody, that he loves everybody. He only loves the children of Israel. He's only in the midst of Israel, which is the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. That's who the Most High is. That's who God you is. He's your God. He ain't the God of everybody, man.
Is that I am the Lord your God.
The Lord of who?
The Lord your God.
But I thought he was the God of everybody, man. That's only in the Christian church you'll find that. You're not going to find that in the Bible. He clearly tell you who the God he is of. He's the God of Israel. He's not the God of everybody. He don't love everybody. He don't love all nations. He only loves one nation of people. If you're not on that sign, that chart, he's not your God. If you're not black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, he is not your God. Every other nation got their own God. But you got your own God too, black man. That's why he say he's only your God. He's not the God of everybody. He don't love everybody. That ideology, you'll find that in the Christian church. You're not going to find it nowhere else, man. So stop thinking that God loves everybody, because he's not.
And that I am the Lord your God and none else.
He's not the God of no one else. This in the Bible, man. The same Bible everybody say they read. The same Bible everybody Christian believe in. He said he's only your God and none else. He's not the God of everybody else. He's only the God of the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. It's proof in the Bible. Y'all read the Bible, don't y'all? Y'all believe in the Bible, don't y'all? Well, read that. Well, tell them where you at.
And ye shall, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. Letting you know that who God he is. Who God he is not the God of everybody. That's why he's in the midst of Israel, man.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
We're not going to be ashamed, man. We're not going to be ashamed anymore. What that thing you call Isaiah 45? Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and 15.
17.
Oh, 17.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
But he said, Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Israel, which are black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Salvation is not for everybody, like your Christian pastor have you thinking. Say Israel, which if you're black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, women, and child, you are Israel. You the one that's going to be saved with an everlasting salvation. Not all nations. Salvation is not for everybody.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. And that's what John 3:16 was talking about. When he said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth shall not perish. That's what he was talking about. That's the world he was talking about. Meaning the age and society. The society of Israel. That's why he said Israel shall not be ashamed nor confounded world without end. That's what John 3:16 was referring to. And who was Christ was speaking to in John 3:16? Nicodemus, the ruler of the Jew. Christ was not talking to everybody. That's why Nicodemus came to Christ at night. It was two Jews having a conversation. He wasn't speaking to everybody. And pull out John 3:16, start on verse 1. We're going to show you who Christ was talking to when he quote that. When he made that statement, he wasn't talking to everybody. He wasn't talking to all nations. He was talking to one man. It was two Jews having a conversation.
This is John chapter 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews.
The ruler of who?
The ruler of the Jews.
Now this man named Nicodemus, he was the ruler of the Jews. What this ruler of the Jews did, we're going to find out.
The same came to Jesus by night.
He came to Christ by night because he was the Pharisee, the ruler of the Jews. He went to Christ at night because he felt what the people would do. And that's who Christ was talking to. Christ wasn't talking to everybody when he quote John 3:16. So that's why we're reading from John 3:1 before we drop down to John 3:16. He said the same came to Christ at night
and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art teacher. We know that our teacher comes from God. To life. We know that thou art a teacher come from God.
Drop down to verse 16. Now we know who Christ was talking to when he quote that. Now we're going to show you. Read it.
This is John chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world. If you look up the definition, it's an age in society. You got to break the Bible down. You got to start. That's why I said precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You got to go back and forth in the Bible to understand what Christ was talking about. Everything Christ quote was from the Old Testament. You can't understand the Bible if you only started from the New Testament. That's just like watching a movie. You started in the middle of the movie, you're not going to understand what's going on. That's why I said, for God so loved the world. We just break it down to you in Isaiah. He said, for Israel is the world that Christ was talking about. The society that Christ was talking about when he quoted John 3:16.
We want no cowards in our camp, only make we pray.